Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're back with another Raw review. I don't know, I don't know how excited we are for this one because it was kind of a long show and it wasn't exactly full of enjoyment.
Yeah, not a whole lot happened. It was almost 3 hours of,
I
yeah,
I will say there was more wrestling this show as well than most Raws, and not because not by number of matches, but that Rusev Sheamus match went on for about 30 minutes, so
yeah.
it was pretty long. But we'll,
The
we'll
wrestling was all fine. It's broken up by so much advertising and talking of nothing.
right.
It's just so much filler. Like that could have been easily a 2 hour show without the advertisements and the recaps of things. And I watched it on the replay, so I don't even think I got all of it, but it was still like
Oh,
insanely long.
and you still get the advertisements. I don't. I
Well,
get
I get some of them.
you get the WWE produced ones for sure because I
Yes,
get those as
yes,
well.
yes. And
Um,
still a lot of them.
but yeah, so we'll go ahead and jump into it because it's kind of a long show. Um, so Judgment Day arrives. Dom's valet. This constant
This
throughout the night is amazing. I loved every bit of everything that happened involving AJ tonight, and it happened several times.
I'm having trouble. Like I like it. It's comedy and it's funny, but it's making me not like AJ as much because it doesn't seem like he's taking it serious. But
I'm used to AJ being on the comedic side of things because he was a lot of that in TNA as well. Um, and when he started off, he was doing that really stupid, and it was stupid at the time. We're gonna beat up John Cena. We're gonna beat up John Cena. Um,
yeah, but it had a satisfying conclusion.
it did.
We'll get there.
So yeah, Dom valets the car and AJ's the valet, and he's like, "Dude, leave me alone."
He's like, I'm not clear, AJ.
We find out Corey Graves and Michael Cole are on commentary. I'm still surprised that Pat McAfee's still gone. I've
Yeah, he's not coming. He's not coming back anytime soon,
I thought
if at all.
for sure he would be back by now.
No, he was full blown burned out. College football season's coming up too, so he'll be doing that. He hit the wall and he hit it hard, so he won't be back. He may be back for the big shows in the fall, maybe,
Right.
but it'll be Corey Graves and Michael Cole for Raw for probably quite a while.
Well, it'll be a mix of Corey Graves and Michael Cole, and then Wade Barrett and Michael Cole, because Wade Barrett and Michael Cole did one of the I think did last Raw, if I remember correctly.
No, I think it was Corey.
Was it Corey?
I think you're thinking of Evolution. Evolution, it was Wade
Yeah,
Barrett and Michael Cole.
Evolution and Saturday Night's main event. It was
Yeah, okay.
okay.
That makes sense.
That's listen. There's a lot of wrestling, a lot of wrestling.
But, like, hey, strap in, buddy. 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from, well, 2 weeks away,
We
SummerSlam,
get
two
the most we
nights.
get the most uninspired SummerSlam card ever.
Man, you're not lying.
Um. All right.
You're not lying.
Listen, as a matter of fact, I'm telling you right now, everything I'm excited for SummerSlam could also have been an evolution, and actually partly was. So I'm just saying, I'm excited for the women's wrestling in it, but I'm struggling with almost everything else.
I'm excited for Punk and Gunther.
I could be,
It's gonna.
I
It
guess,
depends on what kind of match they have. If it's a grounded match, it's gonna be boring as shit.
right.
But
Uh,
we'll see. They're both quite capable.
so speaking of which, opening segment, CM Punk. It takes him 6 years to find the entranceway, and he finally comes
Yeah,
out.
he came out late. He came out late in his music.
They played his music, and all I can think of is he got lost in the curtains.
Gorilla had too many hallways. There was a turn. He turned right instead of left. There was like a fork.
Um, so he finally gets out there. Crowd kind of sucked in the beginning of the night. I'm not gonna lie. He came out, and I felt like they didn't give a shit that he was out there.
There was parts in the very good women's match the last wrestling match of the show where they were just freaking dead for most of that match.
Yeah, Houston was not repping very well at all tonight. Now to be fair though, I don't know how much of that is going to be the cameras and the mics didn't just pick it up very well, because there are situations where sometimes you go into a show and the crowd is loud, you just can't tell that it's loud.
It picks up their crowd sweetening. All the "this is awesome" chants where
True.
nobody's saying or doing anything in the audience.
True. Maybe somebody forgot to pipe in the crowd noise. Who knows?
I guess. Well, they were very hit and miss with it, anyways.
So Punk comes out, does his buttering up of the crowd that's nauseating, and
Kristen would call it pandering punk.
yeah, calls himself the best in the world, and as soon as he does, Gunther comes out. Um, he said, interesting enough, a fun stat that I did not know. Apparently, Gunther has had a title around his waist for more than 80% of the time he's been in the WWE.
Yeah, dude, he had two gigantic reigns. The UK championship, I mean, he pretty much retired that thing. And then the IC title was like,
well, and then he took the
it was
NXT
like a Roman
title.
Reigns. Was he the NXT champion?
Yeah, for a long time, I think. He might not have made it. He might not have been.
I don't think so. He was the NXT UK champion, but I don't think he was the regular. He went straight to the roster. I don't think Gunther was the NXT champion.
Okay, yeah, no, it wasn't NXT. I might be confusing that with the UK one.
Probably.
Or the IC one. It all runs together. Let's be fair.
The IC one he was for like 800 damn days.
Yeah, 870 days.
Yeah, that's a long ass time.
He was the NXT United Kingdom title champion for 870 days, and then
he was 600 and something for the IC, right?
How long was Gunther the IC champ? 666 days.
Yeah, I know they. Wow, 666.
That should be a number I remember.
Yeah, they said it on the show, but I couldn't recall it. I didn't write it down either.
But yeah, no, he's been a champ for pretty much almost, it feels like, the entire time he's been there.
Yeah, he's been treated as important because he's been pushed, and it's been a good one.
Hear me out. This is just me being honest. I think Gunther might have gave us the best promo this man has ever done tonight.
I wrote great promo by Gunther. Totally held his own against Punk on the mic. So I agree.
Gunther said that they both have an ego, and Punk's ego is based on what the crowd thinks, but his ego is based on results.
That's right. That was a good line.
Holy shit, that is a really good fucking spot. But then
that's the last few Gunther promos have been really good.
Yeah. And then he said he's going to go on to maul Punk, and when he's done talking, he dropped the mic and just walked off. Didn't even give Punk a chance to rebuttal anything.
Yeah, and he looked all mad in the ring and stuff and snarling, and
I thought they were going to give him a chance to come back, and then they cut to the backstage segment. I was like, oh, I guess we're done.
Well, he wasted all his TV time on getting to the ring.
Yeah, and then blowing the crowd.
That's textbook pandering.
Backstage segment, Stephanie Vaquer is being interviewed, and then Naomi comes and talks shit. I loved this moment as well because
Naomi is getting comfortable in that character.
Yeah,
and
villain Naomi's so much fun.
It's so much better. She's finally getting to show some personality, and not just I'm the happy glow neon dancing lady.
She went on to tell Steph that Steph got dog walked the last time her and EO had a match.
Yep.
Before it got interrupted. And that was pretty much the end of that as she walked off and laughed. Rusev and Sheamus was match one. I don't know why I called him Sheamus. Listen, here's my problem with this match, straight out the gate. Do you remember when Rusev was in WWE before and he felt like a big deal for a long while, and then he kind of fell into the background and kind of slipped into mediocrity? And then you remember,
I feel like that's been his entire time back.
And then you remember when he signed with AEW and it felt like Miro was a big deal, and then he fell into the background and slipped into mediocrity? At
Well,
least,
because he didn't want to put anybody over,
at least
or at
this,
least that's the rumors.
at least this time, he just started off in mediocrity. Because I'm telling you what, nothing
Has he
about him,
done anything?
nothing he's done so far has made me feel like he's done any, like there's any importance to him being there. Nothing.
Has it been anything other than this thing with Sheamus?
No. Well, he came out. He did that stuff where it was a couple tag teams that he was coming out and he wrecked when he first started back.
So he did squash matches, and then this is his first meaningful thing.
Right. And then here's my next problem. You just gave me two big dudes who 10 years ago, if they would have wrestled, would have beat the hell out of each other. And this just looks like they tried to beat the hell out of each other, but weren't connecting stiffly on anything.
Yeah, I got written down. Sloppy, bland match for the most part. Sheamus almost falls off top rope attempting to dive to the outside.
My note said Sheamus tried to kill himself from the top rope.
Yeah. Yeah, they recovered well. Then Rusev threw him. The most impressive spot was Rusev fall away slamming him over the announce table.
Yeah. Sheamus gets the last second from being counted out save that we're so tired of. Got thrown over the announce table right
it's
after.
overused.
Now the cool thing is though, so Sheamus does break out of the camel clutch, which no one else has done since he's been back, or whatever he calls it as his finishing move. It is the camel clutch though. They take off the turnbuckle strut pad like they did the last time that they wrestled. This time though, Rusev eats it, but while the ref tries to put it back on, Rusev gets the shillelagh. In the process of him about to hit Sheamus, Sheamus nails him with a brogue kick. And Sheamus, I keep calling him Sheamus. Sheamus beats him for his first time ever, 1v1.
This whole match just made Rusev look like a dork.
Yeah.
The turnbuckle spot backfires. The attack with the shillelagh backfires. He looks like a real nerd taking the L.
The Redeemer, I think, is what the name of his camel clutch is. Got broken.
Isn't that what he called it in AEW? Did he carry that over as well?
No, I think his character name was like he was known as the Redeemer.
Yeah.
What is Rusev's finishing? Finishing.
Just gonna say camel clutch.
Oh no, he calls it the accolade. It's a camel clutch, but he calls it the accolade.
Yeah. Fine TV match. They tried. It was sloppy, bland in spots.
And like I said, my big problem is it's two guys who, like I said, 10 years ago, they'd have stiffed the hell out of each other because they knew that's what people would want to see. And instead, dude, every clothesline that looked like it was supposed to be vicious looked like the person tried to fall to kind of dodge taking the brunt of it. It was, I don't know. It just didn't feel like there were no slap. Like, I swear to God, if Gunther would have been in this match, it would have made it so much better. I need them to actually slap each other in the chest when they do stuff. Like, put some stank on it. You don't have to try and actually kill each other, but make it look like you're trying to actually fight a little bit.
Yeah, it could have been better.
Y'all ain't luchadors. I don't expect this out of luchadors. I do expect, y'all to beat the hell out of each other being big men slapping man meat is the thing.
Yep, it's a big meaty man match.
But yeah, backstage segment. El Grande Americano.
He's not the same person. What are you talking about?
Is being interviewed, and Dragon Lee steps in and says he's being disrespectful to luchadors. They brawl. That's probably going to be a SummerSlam match.
Oh, I hope not.
Listen, they still got one more day to round out.
Dude, it's a Raw match at best. we don't need any more than that.
True. And then peep this. We get a triple threat tag match for the number one contendership for the World Tag Titles. What did I say last week?
You wanted all three men in the ring.
Yes, and what happened?
WWE listened.
They did. They let all three men in the ring at once. And
maybe they're one of the subscribers.
I doubt it. But I was happy.
Hey.
I was like...
Yeah, I thought that immediately. I was like, oh. Okay.
I did say, though, LWO, we're absolutely here to eat the pin in my notes. Boy, was I wrong.
Boy, was you wrong there.
Before the match got started, though, We get this random backstage segments in the middle of the fucking entrances that makes no sense to me, by the way. Backstage segment, Bailey asks for a title match with Lyra for the women's tag titles, which even to this point I still don't know what the fuck they were doing, if I'm being honest.
I missed that segment. I didn't even see that.
You didn't?
So I'll be honest. This was such a long show that in between matches, I was like fast forwarding it like 10 seconds at a time to try to get through all the bullshit advertisements and stuff, and I must have just blew right past that.
It was probably because you were fast forwarding through the entrances, and I kid you not, they got through 2 of the entrances, did this backstage promo, and then did the next entrance.
They cut away, and I thought it was a commercial, so I did. I absolutely did, because when I got back to the match, the Creed brothers were in the ring and LWO, because I got New Day's intro, and then it kind of cut away, and I'm thinking, oh, it's a commercial break to get the other 2 teams out to the ring, so I did fasty forwardy.
So that means that match was even more confusing for you. So
what? It was a triple threat tag match.
No. I'm talking about the women's tag title match.
Oh yeah, and it'll come across in my notes, because in my notes I'm like, when did this get set up? I thought they hated each other.
So we get a backstage segment. Lyra is approaching Bailey, and she's like, "What is going on?" And Bailey's like, "What's going on, bestie? I went to Adam Pearce and got us a tag title match." And she's like, "Why did you do that?" And she was like, "Oh, well, because, we didn't get our chance at WrestleMania. I thought we'd go ahead and get our chance that we were supposed to have." And Lyra was like, "I don't like you." And she's
Good
like,
on Lyra. Good on Lyra.
And she's like, "Oh, no, we'll be fine. We're going to go out there and win the tag titles. Let's go." And I'm just like...
And to be fair, Bailey held up her end of it.
She did. And that's where I'm confused, because when we get there, obviously, there were no deception between the 2 of them.
No.
And I was even more like, what are we fucking doing?
It is clearly just broadcasting that Bailey's about to turn heel.
Oh, absolutely.
And she's totally gonna cost Lyra the belt at SummerSlam.
Some way.
And we're gonna have to fucking see another match with those 2 again.
Listen, I am a heel Bailey fan though. So.
Oh, me too. I'm just a Bailey fan, but heel Bailey is by far the better of the versions.
Absolutely. So then we finally get back to the actual match. I put in my notes, I love how I was like, yeah, I hate multi-tag team matches, and WWE's like, hold my beer.
That's right. They're listening. Like and subscribe.
And I said, oh, but they're doing one person from each team in. I'm down for this.
Right? My first note is, New Day as heels don't do it for me.
I hate their tag theme music, my guy. The New Day song is so terrible.
Yeah. Good on it. Do you see the shape Xavier Woods is in?
Oh, yeah. He's
good for him.
He's actually been in really good shape for like a couple years, though.
He's always been in shape. He's in like stupid shape right now. He looked like fucking Apollo Crews almost.
He did.
He's all swolled up and shit. Good on him. Keep lifting those weights.
I'm going to be honest with everybody. I only know names of 2 of the people in this match. And both of them are in the New Day.
You don't know the Creed brothers?
Not at all.
I only know them as the Creed brothers.
But I do have names written down, because at one point I said Del Toro hit Poison Rana onto Brutus only because they had mentioned it as soon as it happened. So I was like, oh, I got to write their names down.
Brutus, Creed, and who's the other one?
Yeah, I don't know. So I wrote.
You made it sound like you had all their names.
No. I wrote it down specifically because I am a sucker for the Poison Rana.
It was very well executed.
And anytime,
matter of fact, that whole sequence was, I put nice hot tag segment by the LWO.
Yeah. In fact, the only other person that was involved in this match that I actually know the name, 2 other people were Dragon Lee. I know my
and El Grande Americana
and Ludwig Kaiser. So
El Grande Americano. It's Brutus and Julius, by the way, the Creeds.
Okay. I love that they have like the inverted Kurt Angle theme song.
They are such rip-off. Yeah, they're just such rip-off Kurt Angles.
It's
yeah. Yeah,
Except the problem is they're not near as cool as Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. So,
the greatest tag team ever.
I one of physically. They obviously didn't win all the titles to back that claim up, but they were a great tag team. Um, where was I? Oh, yeah, and then so Dragon Lee gets involved, and then El Grande Americano gets involved, and then I said I was wrong. LWO get the pin on Kofi, and notice I said LWO because I don't remember names.
It was overbooked like crazy. Getting all these guys out there was just
Um,
insane.
I give them props for giving me a team to win that I didn't expect that was going to win, but I would have rather it been uh, Team Angle instead of LWO. I don't have anything personal against the LWO, but I feel like they keep trying to do this whole thing where Gable tells his people, "Hey, you guys need to work on trying to get title shots," and it just never happens.
Raw's tag team division
Suffering.
yeah, is not great. Hence the reason the Judgment Day are champions again. It's been passed back and forth between Judgment Day and New Day for the entire year.
Yep.
Because it's the only two like legit teams that they've pushed into a spot where they're recognizable enough to be the tag champions. It's yeah, I don't know what they do to fix it other than to push somebody else.
I have said this before, and I will say this again. And I have always felt this way. I feel like between NXT, SmackDown, and Raw,
There should be one tag team titles.
Team.
Yeah. I agree.
And
I agree.
they just bounce around the shows. It gives them all of the teams to go up against. Obviously, they don't need to be on TV 3 days a week. That's not what I'm saying. But it gives them more of a wide range of people to get involved with. You know, they can feud with somebody on SmackDown for a month while they set up whatever team that's going on. They could do it on NXT for a month, you know, jump over Raw or whatever. Whatever is the hottest, best available option.
Yeah, because SmackDown's tag team division is so much better.
So much better.
So much better.
I would argue SmackDown currently has the best tag team division in wrestling.
Yeah, because AEW's fell off a fucking cliff a while ago.
So yeah, I love, and the problem is, and you know what sucks? I can't watch it. We're gonna try and get that shit figured out this weekend.
Oh, the Smacky Down, the Smacks Down, yeah.
And the team that I want to be tag champions are tag champions over on SmackDown. So I'm like, hey, I need to be over there supporting my Wyatt Six. Yeah, so that was a tag match. It was good. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was a very well wrestled match that got a little overbooked at the end with all the interference and nonsense. I guess they felt like they had to overbook it for the shock win of LWO. But it's just a tag match on next week's Raw. I don't know why they felt like they just couldn't give the win to LWO.
Right. We get a backstage segment where the Kabuki Warriors are cheering on Io for her title match. Io's cheering on the Kabuki Warriors for their title match. Stephanie walks up and is like, "Hey Io, I hope you win so that we can meet in Paris." And then Io's like, "Yeah, but I almost had you beat last time we wrestled." And Steph was like, "Well, if that's how it's gonna be, why wait for Paris?" And Io was like, "How about
and by
tonight?"
Steph you mean Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then yeah, so Vaquer was like, "How or Io was like, how about tonight?" And Vaquer was like, "Absolutely." And listen,
Yep.
I want you guys to understand something. If you're ever gonna throw two people on my screen to speak an absolute broken English to each other, this is how I want it done.
They did well. They came across. They said their sentences that they knew to say, and it was
Absolutely.
digestible and it was good. Considering English isn't their first language, they got the point across. The crowd was pretty hype, at least there. Don't know if that was assisted by the production truck, but yeah, set up the match for later.
My note says one of the best broken English segments ever.
Yeah, I put good segment.
We get a commercial interview with Trick. I don't know if you got to see that. It was nothing major. It was basically Trick Williams talking shit to Taker because they're supposed to have an NXT face to face. And
To the Undertaker.
yeah, because apparently he was talking shit about one of Taker's.
Fucking why?
Well, he was apparently talking shit to one of Taker's LFG kids.
It's an LFG tie-in bullshit.
Yeah, and I refuse to watch that show. Um. All right.
I don't blame you.
So listen, I don't need an NXT 2.0, right? Or Tough Enough. It's more Tough Enough than anything.
It's more Tough Enough than anything. Yeah.
I don't need a Tough Enough. I don't.
Based on what I've seen on the commercials, I've never watched it, nor will I.
Just like you're never going to catch me watching whatever that other to be exclusive WWE show that's supposed to basically be what NXT used to be.
That's Evolve, right?
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, it's indies. It's indies.
I don't need any of that shit. Like I don't know what the fuck WWE's trying to do.
Hey man, that's where Austin Theory came from. They grow stars down there.
Yeah. We see how good he's doing right now.
Hurt, ain't he?
Now he is. So then we get backstage. AJ's doing janitor work close to Dom. I laugh.
Yeah, all the different jobs that AJ gets on this on this show.
The New Day broke down backstage during the same segment where they were just losing their shit. They were like, the only thing that actually feels normal is AJ being a janitor because that's where he should have been all along.
Yeah, that was a great line by Xavier. I think it was Xavier who said it.
And then
Grayson Waller
is trying to join the New Day, and I'm just like, please no. Please.
Hey man, Big G.
I don't know.
Yeah, Big G, man. He's gonna go get the car from the valet AJ.
Yeah, no, he can. And New Day's just as confused as I was at the time. I was like, why?
Well, I don't know why they're confused. He's been hanging around him for fucking weeks now.
Yeah. We get an in-ring segment. Becky Lynch comes out. She's bummed she's in Texas instead of being on the red carpet for Happy Gilmore 2, and I would agree. And then...
yeah, WWE probably pulled her so she didn't have to do any interviews with AEW talent.
That is actually probably accurate.
Yeah.
Becky claims she wanted Evolution, calls Lyra greedy for also wanting to go for the tag titles tonight, as well as the IC title at SummerSlam, and calls Lyra out.
Because who needs two belts, Nick? Who needs two belts?
When she did it, it was breaking.
It was revolutionary.
Breaking ground. It was.
Yeah.
Her groundbreaking.
Not hypocritical at all.
Yeah, not at all. Lyra accepts Becky's challenge of if Lyra loses, she gets no more title shots, which means she's gonna win.
I don't think so. I think Bailey's hosing her.
And then Lyra says it has to be a no DQ match, which, hopefully we're right, and she does screw her. That'd be great. Could you imagine Becky and Bailey, working together?
I don't think I'll have to imagine it for too much longer.
As heels. It's going to be so much fun. Hopefully they go for the tag titles as well. Just so Becky can be even more hypocritical.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting the tag straps off of Judgment Day until Liv Morgan comes back.
That's a possibility. So yeah, basically no DQ, no count out, must be a winner. And then Becky goes to do the handshake attack, and then she gets manhandled, slammed by Lyra. And then Bailey comes out because the tag title match is next.
Bailey is so happy and so just happy to be there, happy to be doing this tag match, and it's just confusing the shit out of Lyra.
Yeah, women's tag title match. I wrote Dom gets laid out at some point towards the end of the match. They get medical to come look at him, and it's AJ being medical, and he tries to do the he tries to do CPR on him.
My notes say Dom was more over than any of the ladies in the ring. I said poor Bailey.
True. But yeah, it looks like Bailey and Lyra are getting close to winning, but Becky Lynch interferes, pulls Lyra off the apron. Bailey goes to tag. She's not there. Gets Tahana bombed by Raquel. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, the blind tag, and then the finish with Judgment Day picking up the win. Yep.
It was again a pretty it's a functional TV match. It's nothing special, but nothing terrible.
Yeah, it was a cohesive match. It furthered multiple stories. It was Dom overshadowed it. Like I said, he was more over and kind of more of the focus than most of the match, unfortunately, for the ladies involved.
True. Sammy gets interviewed backstage. He's mad that he couldn't be in the gauntlet match because of Karrion Kross. He could be going for the world championship at SummerSlam, but he doesn't get that opportunity now.
Not likely.
Yeah, that wouldn't have happened. And then that match is next. So Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Run with this one. It's all you, Pizzle.
Oh, let's see. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross.
Hold on.
Have a.
Hold on. Before this
Go
match,
for it.
before this match starts, it does it again. They're in the middle of doing entrances, and they do a backstage segment where it's Adam Pearce telling Dom that he either has to go to medical or he's stripped of the title.
Yep, missed that.
And of course Dom was super pissed off about it, but he follows Adam to medical. And then the match happens. So go ahead.
Yeah, all I have for this match is Sammy playing underdog, selling the ribs. Scarlet distraction. Cross uses pipe on ribs again for a Karrion Kross win. It was pretty underwhelming. Nothing bad. They didn't do anything bad. Just Karrion Kross keeps continuing the same old thing over and over and over again.
So they've been talking online about Karrion Kross not taking back bumps. That was a big conversation topic over the last month or so.
I'm not sure he knows how, considering he should have been taking a back bump on that exploder into the corner, and he landed on his fucking head instead.
So funny enough, so I wrote down, he took an exploder suplex to the turnbuckle that dropped him on his neck.
Yep.
And
sure did.
Funny enough, I am pretty sure he hit himself in the face with his knee, which caused his nose to start bleeding right at the very end there.
Yeah, it was an ugly looking move.
But yeah, no, he took a nasty exploder. I don't know how much of that you can actually pin on him though, because I mean you're kind of just being thrown in as a fucking turnbuckle.
I mean you gotta help out a little bit. You gotta rotate.
That ain't even the nastiest move we see tonight, dude. There's this move that we see between Stephanie and fucking Io that I thought Io was almost dead.
I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, Kross wins with a pipe to the ribs, so that's
yeah, underwhelming finish.
It was. I don't. Karrion Kross, dude, has so much personality and has so little in-ring interest.
His style doesn't mesh well with others.
No.
Like I don't want to say he's bad in the ring because I don't think he's bad.
So,
and if you've seen some of his indie stuff, I wouldn't consider it bad. I don't know if it's how he's being produced or what, but something is off.
Something is off, and he actually was almost honestly he was a big deal in NXT while he was down there. Now I didn't watch NXT while he was down there, so I cannot second that, but I've heard great things about his NXT run.
Yeah, me neither.
But with that being said, I haven't seen greatness from him outside of the promos he cuts. The stuff he's cut promo-wise on the show, outside of the show, is excellent. Because he's got that intensity that most people can't seem to be able to understand and figure out how to have it.
Someone who's seen him in real life, he looks intense all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did not look like he wanted to be approached when we saw him in the airport.
No, he's got a fuck you face that
Boy, does he.
Yeah, I don't. You can tell that even just in general. Like you can see pictures of him, and you're like, yeah, I wouldn't approach that man. I don't want his autograph.
No.
Um, I would take his autograph if he offered it, but I'm not gonna approach him for one. I'll tell you that.
I've met quite a few wrestlers, and most of the time I'm just like, oh, hey, like your work.
Yeah. Um, backstage, Dom gets cleared, and he attacks AJ from behind. Says he'll see AJ at SummerSlam.
This was brilliantly set up by Dom, who sent the doctor out, and the doctor is sitting there distracting Pierce and AJ. They're like, "Well, give me the answer. What's the answer?" The doctor's like, "I got to finish the paperwork, then I'll tell you." And old sneaky Dom attacks AJ from behind. It's like, "I'll see you at SummerSlam."
And again, I'm only half interested in this match. And the bad thing is, the person I hope wins isn't going to.
You just know it's not going to be very good, and it's not going to be AJ's fault.
No. And that's what Dom is just. Dom is a heat magnet, and he is over to the crowd in terms of all that. But in between those ropes, dude, I cannot take it. It is.
He should be a manager that bumps.
Yes.
Because he's good at getting heat.
He's not the worst
but
wrestler.
His in-rings. No, but he's not at that level.
No.
And they're forcing it because of who his father is.
Yeah.
If he was just a regular dude on the indies, he would be forever on the indies.
So, match 5, we get Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer.
Easily the best match of the night. Not that was a high bar to clear.
I said really good match until Io did her stupid pointing to herself thing that I can never get away from. I hate that fucking thing so much. And she does it out of a fucking forward handspring, and it pisses me off even more. That one's more jealousy because I can't do that. But I just hate the stupid pointing shit, dude. It's so dumb. But people love it. And I'm just like, I'm not the only wrestling fan, so keep doing it. But I'm going to hate it every time.
To each their own, right?
We get the devil's kiss on the apron, except this time she rolls her back into the ring to finish it, which I thought was pretty cool. And then, oh my god, Steph did this reverse suplex to Io off of the fucking top rope that Io did not push off right on.
Yeah, she went down right on her head.
And she went down right on the top of her fucking forehead, dude. And I cringed because it looked like she was going down on her stack of dimes. And
yeah, thankfully she rotated. Yeah, thankfully she rotated enough.
But yeah, that absolutely. It was probably a combination of both of them. I could tell when she kicked off, she didn't kick off correctly. And
she may have slipped or something.
And Steph doesn't have the strength to fully control flipping that over. So like, yeah, no, I cringed for a second, and then like I said, she just lands on her forehead, and I'm like, oh, thank God, because
yeah, it was looking a little iffy there.
It looked vicious though.
Yeah. I put actual mat wrestling. Holy crap. I said best wrestling of the show, and the crowd is dead. And then I put match ruined by interference, but makes sense to protect baby faces.
Yeah, so they get Chelsea Green to come in and interfere with the Secret Hervis just to spite me.
You said you wanted more Secret Hervis.
Yeah, no the fuck I don't.
I heard you. They heard you. See, they are a listener.
I'm full of I hate. They can leave that shit alone. I said we're never gonna get a legit end to this match.
No.
Then as Io
not at all.
Then as Io and Steph take them out, Naomi comes out of nowhere and starts to beat down Io until Rhea comes out to a monster pop, probably the loudest pop of the fucking night.
Yeah. She was
love Rhea, boy. Let me tell you.
She was the second biggest star on this show outside of Roman.
Yep. And her pop might have been louder than fucking Roman's, if I'm being honest.
It was. Romans was sustained longer because they chanted over and over and over. But
I also
Rhea's super over.
I also feel like there is something to be said for a difference in mood as well. So when Rhea came out, it was more of a surprise than when Roman came out because everyone expected Roman to show up because he was scheduled to be there.
I was gonna say he was advertised.
Right. But I did say best overall segment period of the night so far. There were some great
Yeah,
exchanges between the women.
I agree. I'm sensing a pattern. I think we like women's wrestling on this show.
On WWE, absolutely.
Well, I'm just saying on our little
Oh,
podcast, we tend to lean towards the women,
we
which
do. It's not even on purpose, if I'm being honest.
it really isn't. If
Listen,
you'd have asked me this like 3 years ago, I'd have been
we
like, no,
we grew up in the Attitude Era. There wasn't much wrestling for women back then.
no, they were used for a little
There was
more than just eye candy.
there was some mud wrestling, which I was not against at that time.
Well, you were a teen. You were a teenager.
Absolutely. Um, but yeah, no. So Heyman comes out with his goons,
His goons.
um, and he says he's got some things he's got to get off his chest. And then Roman's music hit. And
Th-
go ahead.
this group is severely lacking now that Seth is not there.
Yeah, I will say though, we'll get there. Heyman tries to convince Roman to join and be the new leader since Seth is out for a while. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys know something. I don't think Seth is actually injured anymore.
No, I think he's cashing in
I
on the
think he's
Gunther and Punk match.
I think he's cashing in at SummerSlam. I think Punk's gonna win, and he's gonna cash in and do the stomp on Punk and take the title right off of Punk.
I don't even think Punk is going to win. I think Punk is going to be about to win,
Yep.
and then he's going to come in and screw Punk, and then he'll cash in and pin Punk.
Yep. Either way, I do think he's cashing in at SummerSlam. I think the injury was a hoax that they played off very well, and even having him on crutches backstage made some of the other wrestlers think he was injured. Um,
Which isn't good. You don't want to work the boys.
no. Uh, Now I will say when Roman comes in, did you notice he was soaking in the energy and had the same exact face that The Rock would make when The Rock did it?
Oh, where he closes his eyes and acts like he's sniffing the air.
Yep. That's
Yep.
that's not the only Rock simile that we get in this whole thing. So Roman asks Houston to acknowledge him. Tells Braun that Heyman will one day betray him too.
And take credit for all the things he accomplishes.
Yep. Roman says that Heyman thought he created just another faction, but now the bloodline is family, and that's God's work. Well, dude, this was probably one of my favorite Roman speaking promos because
The only problem is, much like everything Roman does, it just took too fucking long.
yeah, that is true. After he said that, Heyman, who was the dumbass, ruined the bloodline. He kept calling him a dumbass, and every time he did,
Yeah, because he's not wise anymore. What's the opposite of being a wise man?
a dumbass. It's Dumas.
Dumas.
Uh, but Braun kept stepping up, and finally Braun takes a mic, and he says that Roman was in his prime 5 years ago, but he's the man now, and Roman needs to do what he does best: turn around and leave. And I actually thought that was an excellent line in response.
Yeah, he went through. He's like, I'm the big dog. This is my yard now.
So I was actually not down on Braun's talk. I thought he did a
No.
decent job. He was straight to the point.
Which is what he needs to be. He didn't get flustered by the crowd because the crowd was trying to get to him. He ignored them, which is good.
Yep.
He got his point across. Not bad. Not bad at all.
And hit him with the "you're never here" basically comment.
Yep, part timer.
Roman says, "Hey, I didn't hear you. Here, use my mic." He tosses it, and then Superman punches him when he goes to catch it, which I thought was a really fun.
It was
exchange.
good. Yeah, it was good.
That's fun. He starts to take it to Bronson Reed as well, but the numbers game catches up on him. And of course, listen, I was enjoying it so much. And then fucking Jey Uso's music hit, and I went, I don't care anymore.
and you popped.
I did not. And he did.
He was like, "Yeet, baby, yeet."
He walked so slow to the ring as Roman was getting his ass beat, just so he could soak
He
in.
did. I am so sick of that. I got to do my entrance when I'm out here to do the run in. No, you don't.
And
No,
that's
you
not just
don't.
against him specifically. A lot of people are
No,
doing
that's in
that lately.
general. That's just wrestling right now for some reason.
But it's more so for Dre for me because I can't stand him.
He's an entrance in a t-shirt.
That's so. Somebody on Twitter was like, "Why during the gauntlet did he throw Braun out of the ring and then go back to doing his entrance?" And I said, "Because that's one of his 5 moves of doom."
His entrance is part of his 5 moves of doom. It's it's sunglasses that say yeet, t-shirt, the sign for yeet. What's that? 3
A
super kick and splash.
and a splash.
Yep.
And a spear. He's got 6 moves of doom.
We'll take out the sunglasses and we'll add in the spear.
Um, that actually got quite a few likes. Now, not near as many. I'm not popular on Twitter. Don't get that twisted. When I say quite a few for me, it was like 10 to 15 likes. I was like, hey, people thought that was funny. But yeah, so Jay comes out. I said walking slow as fuck to help Roman. Roman and Jay hit a double spear, and afterwards, Jay hits a very rock-like spit into the palm slap to one of them.
Just use all those gimmicky things.
And I was like, so now that's just a family trait. Everybody's gonna start acting like The Rock now, and I'm curious if Triple H isn't being even more petty and being like, hey guys, I need you to act like Rock in some way, shape, or form.
It would be more likely Rock telling them to act more like him so they can get over, because he's the Rock.
It's possible, but he's also, I don't think, in very good standing with the people he apparently is in charge of. Now that he's on the board.
Yeah.
But yeah.
At least he stayed away for this long.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what SummerSlam brings. It's 2 nights for him to come and ruin.
I don't think he'll be at SummerSlam. He's going to show up when it's about time to start gearing up for WrestleMania again, if I had to guess.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
But yeah, and that is Netflix for y'all, man.
Yep, that is Raw in a nutshell.
I just called it Netflix, not Raw. My bad. It's been a long day.
Hey, man, that's what happens when you record a podcast after doing, after getting off of work.
Yeah, for the second time today. So over and above all, I don't think it was a bad show. And I will say this.
It was too long. It could have been easily 40 minutes less,
Yeah.
and it probably would have been a much better paced show.
Yep.
The actual action wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was a watchable television show.
Yeah, I will give WWE this. And I want you guys to understand something. When we joked or when we talked about doing this podcast, I dreaded doing WWE stuff because you guys got to understand, Joe and I grew up watching WWE. He was embedded a bit earlier than I was. My big time was the Attitude Era. I came in and really, obviously I went to WrestleMania 8 as a kid. Tiny kid. But I still didn't, I knew who Ultimate Warrior was. I knew who Hulk Hogan was. I knew who The Undertaker was. And I knew who the Road Warriors were. And that was about it in terms of people that I really recognized at WrestleMania 8 as a kid. I didn't watch a lot of it until, like I said, Attitude Era hit. And it was more when I became friends with Joe and Johnny and everybody else that we did our thing with. That was when I fell in love with it. I lasted a bit longer. I won't say a lot longer. It was a little bit longer than I think Joe did. Because like I said, I made it to about middle to end of the Attitude Era. Not Attitude Era.
Ruthless Aggression.
Ruthless Aggression.
Yeah. Around when Ruthless Aggression started, that was when I was getting out of high school. And I had to go be an adult.
Right.
And that was pre-DVR.
Um, and then I fell off during the PG era when it started. And a lot of it was because they were switching to a PG environment. And I just. You guys don't understand what it's like going from watching people do bullet point style promos to full on scripted and how much of a difference and letdown it becomes.
When when people are writing your stuff and everybody starts to sound the same because the same team of people are writing everybody's promo.
Right. Um,
That's what made AEW so refreshing when they started.
right. And and again, it also lost its edge, guys. And you guys don't understand. Again, I grew up in the Attitude Era. That was what I liked in wrestling. I liked the edginess of the jokes and things like that. And I understand when you go PG, you have to drop that stuff because they were worried about getting sponsors like Target and things like that, and they have to appease sponsors and shit like that. But that's when I realized it wasn't for me at that point anymore. Um, and thankfully, so Joe and I basically kept up with the WrestleManias. We watched several of them up until a few years ago.
Yeah, we would watch the big four.
Yeah,
And
I'd
then
come
we
over.
would kind of keep up with the week to week shows. My wife has been keeping me in the loop for the entire time because she, like clockwork, watched it every week.
And here's the thing: I'm glad we missed 2018, 2017, 2019, 20. Like I'm glad we missed the COVID era of wrestling.
I didn't really miss it. I just kind of eye rolled while she watched it, and I would do
Right.
something else.
I missed it. That's for sure. But yeah, I'm glad we missed all that. I missed all that stuff because it didn't look appealing to me at all. And I will say, I started getting back into WWE a little bit more when Vince left the first time. And Triple H took over, and I actually thought the stories were pretty interesting once Triple H took over.
Well, it was consistent instead of things being torn up hours before the show.
Right.
There was actual cohesive things happening.
It also
And not your 2 week push and then back to the line because you didn't get over in 2 weeks and other crazy things like that where the show was just sporadic and a mess.
And Triple H wasn't wasting TV time on personalities that just weren't connecting with people, like Theory. So it was refreshing, but then Vince weaseled himself back into things. And again, I was worried because I was like, dude, Triple H has actually been doing a really decent job. And Vince all of a sudden is just back. And you could tell a big difference. And I think he was there for like what, a month? Was it just a couple weeks or a month or something like that? It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't long because then the allegations of
Right.
all the Janelle Grant stuff came out and was public.
So as soon as the allegations hit and he disappeared, it's almost like storytelling skyrocketed to it was actually great for a while.
Well, they claimed he was back to sell to TKO, so it took about a month, maybe two,
Right.
to negotiate and get that all taken care of. And then once he wasn't in charge anymore, and he was just a shareholder,
Yep.
then they kind of pushed him out.
So yeah, it was Cody. Of course, Cody coming in helped the WWE as well.
Yeah, fresh face.
Punk coming back helped. And listen, even in today's state, I don't think WWE right now is as good as it was a year ago. Well, I won't say a year ago, 2 years ago at this point, I think, because
I think they're falling into traps that they used to. It's like they don't book. It's like they don't book seriously until they have to because they're so profitable that no matter what they put out there, they're going to make money.
Right.
People are just showing up in droves to go to the shows, and they just make money despite themselves.
Right. And one of my big problems is it feels like they're always in a rush now, and I feel like when Triple H came in, and this is going to be something that's going to happen. It happens to everybody that's like primary booker, and you can recognize it. It happened to Vince even back when he was doing well. It happened to Vince. It's happened to Tony over in AEW. It's happening to Triple H right now. You go through creative slumps. You do. Where you're trying, like, you have an end goal and you're trying to figure out a good way to get to that end goal, but you lose things along the way, and you kind of got to rush to get them things back to where they're supposed to be.
Or you've just got to deviate from what your original plan was because a superstar got hurt or isn't hurt, or there's something keeping Seth off of TV, whether it's an actual legitimate injury or not. There clearly was a pivot from that.
Yep. One of the things that I love, and this isn't to just shoehorn AEW into shit, but I want more wrestlers like Christian, right? Where somebody comes along and says, hey, we want to get you to this before this point. And as a wrestler, you go, hey, I don't think that's a good idea, because there's this other thing that we're working on, and we need to finish this out before we jump to other things. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news and stuff like that, but in AEW, Tony wanted to get Christian and Edge back together before All In so that they could go for the tag titles at All In. And Christian was like, no, I've got to finish taking care of the stories we've got going on with the patriarchy before we jump into that. And more wrestlers need that mentality where they're willing to say to their boss, hey, I don't think that's a good idea.
Have some restraint. Let's finish this one thing before rushing to another. Good on him. I've always been a Christian fan, so that just makes me like him even more.
And then, and like I said, this is across all of, fuck, I had another point, and now I can't remember what it was. I literally just shit myself on my head. No. Whatever.
That was my fault. I interrupted you.
No, you were fine. ADHD's a motherfucker. But yeah, no, I think WWE is obviously better than it was when Vince was around, especially the last like 7 to 10 years Vince was around.
I would agree.
I don't think it's as good as the Attitude Era storytelling wise.
Well, they hot-shotted everything then.
Yeah.
You can't. So
it was short. They didn't do very much.
That's why
it just felt like
why AEW kind of went down, because they had times where they were doing a lot of hot-shotting. You can't hot-shot all the time.
Right.
That's why the Attitude Era was only, like X amount of years long. Because you just eventually book yourself into fatigue, and you have to change things.
See, I don't remember it as it being hot-shotting. You're not wrong. But again, I was a teenager who was all over the place any fucking ways.
Yeah, it was a lot of just shock value things, and we're gonna flip the title, just because. Now, Kane's gonna have a 24-hour reign because why not? It's gonna be shocking. Lots of things done like that.
I think there's
playing hot potato with belts and stuff.
I think there is some good to balance, but I absolutely love periods of hot potatoing titles. That is a fault of mine that I own up to. I don't care though, because I do enjoy it.
It depends. It, like you said, there's a balance.
But again, when you look at the wrestlers they had in the world title scene in the Attitude Era, you could understand.
Oh, they were like 9-10 deep on the main event stars. Not a lot of companies have that.
No. And even right now, WWE doesn't have that. As a matter of fact,
well, they're split between two fucking shows.
They're hurting so bad.
They've got 2 world titles.
They're hurting so bad.
Back then, there was only 1 world title.
Right. They're hurting so bad for world championship talent that they're doing things like bringing Taker back to NXT to push a storyline.
I wish Taker would just go away.
Right.
You've had your time, son.
I don't think he's going to wrestle. He's going to choke slam Trick. I think that's going to happen. But no, I don't think he'll wrestle. At least for for everyone's health, I hope he doesn't. Um, but yeah, no, I don't. Again, at the time, the hot potatoing thing made sense. Even looking back, you had 7, 8, 9, 10 people that were all legitimate championship, world champion material that could pass the belt
We
to each other.
we talked about this around the Royal Rumble time.
We did.
Nowadays, there's like you go into a Royal Rumble, there's like 3 people that could win it.
Yeah.
Back then, it was like 10, 12 people that could have won the damn Rumble from
Sometimes,
year to year.
sometimes more than that. If you really think about the Rumble, should be used to, in my opinion,
Elevate.
elevate somebody. Now you still got to have your big time winners for big time Mania moments. I get that,
Yeah,
but
you still got to have Austin win back to backs to get where he needs to be because he's the main guy. But
right.
even when you don't push, even when those kind of underneath guys you're trying to push don't win, when they're in the final four and they're squaring off against those main event guys, that's going to elevate them anyway. So they don't necessarily have to win the whole thing to be elevated.
And even that continued over into um, the ruthless
They still
aggression
try
era.
to do it. They still try to do that to this day.
Well, no, I'm talking about
It-
as far as star power. Uh,
yeah,
Even in the ruthless aggression era, I mean, yeah, you lost an Austin and The Rock, but you also picked up a Kurt Angle and a Batista. So I mean, you still had your people that carried over that for the at least for the first couple of years of the ruthless aggression era. You still had 10 to 15 viable winners that it could have been. It was always probably going to be Cena, but you had at least 15 people that would be believable.
Cena, Batista, or Randy Orton.
Yeah, or Triple H still. Man, he was still around.
Yeah, if he wasn't hurt.
So yeah, like that's what WWE is missing now. And that's one of the things I will praise AEW for right now. Again, is they've built a good core of world championship contenders that can fit that mold.
Because their main event people aren't spread across 2 different split rosters.
Correct. But I want that for WWE as well. I want WWE to get back to the point where
It'll never happen with multiple championships, multiple world championships.
look, a man can hope.
Hey, I'm right there with you. I would much rather there be less belts in this in every company, honestly.
But do you know what I want more than a more viable world title picture?
What's that?
My still biggest complaint of wrestling from the late 90s, early 2000s to now, as petty as it sounds, is lack of unique pay-per-view entrances. For all companies, you all suck.
Everything's just a television screen now. You don't get giant elaborate sets anymore. That shit was too expensive. We can slap these LED screens up anywhere.
Listen, fuck TKO, fuck WWE. You motherfuckers are making billions. Too expensive is not a fucking acceptable reason.
Hey man, they're a subscriber. Don't be talking to them. Don't be talking to them like that. They may
Yeah,
unsubscribe.
but they listened for the last complaint that I had. I'm hoping, fingers crossed.
Make it happen, WWE.
Um,
Can you really say that about AEW though as well? Their sets aren't elaborate. You got the condom tunnels and then
I said across wrestling, this was not unique.
okay. I missed that part.
No. Listen, AEW for their first year, they did do special sets. I've seen, even my
I-
first, even
I've been to a few of them.
even my first year watching Double or Nothing had a really cool casino setup that I really liked.
Yep, with the chips all around the ring.
I watched
all the
somebody
entrances
take,
and
if I
stuff.
remember correctly, a one-winged angel on top of a stack of chips. So
I don't remember that. I remember John Moxley debuting and doing his double arm DDT to Kenny on the stack of chips.
that might have been it. It could have that very well could have been it. Listen, that was a while ago.
2019,
Right.
2018.
But yeah, so AEW every now and again will surprise you. Every now and again. But even still, I mean, WWE, there's only one show that you know what's going to happen, right? WrestleMania is going to have a killer setup. It's had a great setup for like the last 5-6 years. but it's like the only show they give a shit about.
Well, also, when to have those giant elaborate sets, you have to be in a stadium.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're losing out on seats, and they're all about that money.
yeah, no, they can sacrifice about 300 seats. They'll live. They ain't going broke.
Yeah, it ain't. Do you know how small of a section 300 seats are?
Yeah, do you know how small of the entrances were that they were using back then? Like they seemed big because we were watching them on TV, but they weren't that big.
Yeah, you're probably right.
uh, I don't know. It's just one of the many things. Like it's one of those things where there's so many small things that bother me that it's all combined into I just the product's just not as good as I want it to be right now overall.
And sometimes the sets, like you said, aren't necessarily large. They're just interesting. Like, remember the Survivor Series in Madison Square Garden, where Jeff Hardy jumped off the entrance, the little overhead spot onto the floor. That had like cars and stuff, and it wasn't anything like super elaborate. It was just kind of cool.
or something super stupid simple, right? Do you remember the SummerSlam where it was just the SummerSlam logo?
The big giant SS.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I liked it. As a matter of fact, that was 99, 2000. I think it was 2000, year 2000
it was
SummerSlam.
the big green SS.
Because it ended up being honestly the Survivor Series for the year before that was on WrestleMania 2000. That was just like the big three with the entrance like octagons that came out, and you just had like the big three right in the middle. I think it was a big three.
I don't remember that one.
It looked pretty cool. SummerSlam, I think it was SummerSlam '99. SummerSlam '99 entrance or stage. I guess stage would be a better. How do you motherfuckers not just have? Was that it? No, I don't think that was it. It's not that important. I'll eventually send you a picture of what I'm talking. Oh, actually, I think I just kind of found it. Let me snip this and send this to you on Discord real quick. Somebody recreated it on. It looks like one of the 2Ks. But yeah, no, it was just this octagon, and it had like a 2 or 3 or something in the middle of it, and it's just like it's super small, super simple, and something they could still use, like in terms of just ideas. I don't.
I remember that.
Yeah, I don't need anything being. I don't need a WrestleMania, 41 size entrance for every pay per view, but just something that makes it unique. That's just not big LED screen.
The LED screen with all the corporate sponsors and
Like,
the logo.
like guys, you spent 3 years with an almost pay per view style entrance for SmackDown. The giant fist.
Was that when they was on Fox? Oh, you're talking about the fist from the late '90s.
That was a pay per view style ramp, and they used it for every SmackDown for like 3.5 years.
Yeah, they still tore that big fist around. If you go to like one of the WWE
I want to.
like experiences and stuff, sometimes they'll have that thing out and stuff.
I want to jump off of it like it was WWE.
The SmackDown games on PlayStation.
Jump off. No, I don't want to be up that high to jump off of it though. I just want them to put that motherfucker on the floor and me jump off of it that low.
It's like here comes the pain. You're gonna F5 somebody off the top of it.
Oh yeah, here comes the pain. As soon as I jump off and I land,
There's the pain.
there's the pain. But yeah, I'm just so tired of the boring ass setups. And like I said, that goes across the board.
They've just become super corporate. I mean, their titles are just their giant fucking logo.
Yeah.
When they brought the Winged Eagle back for that short little run between KO and Cody, I was hoping they just came back with the Winged Eagle, and that was just going to be what the belt was from now on. I'm so sick of these belts that are just the giant WWE logo and that's it. They're so boring.
Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get like something like the 2018 SummerSlam thing, where it's just a wall of fucking LED screens. I just sent that picture to you. It's just a wall of
Oh, I see it.
them.
it. At least it's interesting looking though.
Yeah, at least it's different.
How they have it kind of
I,
clipped.
I don't actually have a complaint with that one. I just think again though, it's just all LED screens. It's all they do now. It's just here's a big LED screen. Here's another big LED screen. Here's a bunch of LED.
That was many LED screens.
Yeah. I missed the taxi cab in the entranceway, and
Yeah, that's the Survivor Series I was talking about.
that was Royal Rumble.
Was it Royal Rumble?
Yeah, and I only know that.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I'd have agreed with you if I wasn't looking at the picture of it because it does feel like
No. You're right. You're right.
But yeah, no, it's just little things like that. I don't know, dude. I'm easy to please, but apparently not, because somebody somewhere is probably like, oh, I love the tiny entranceway. I love the 1.5 miles that they got to run to get to the fucking ring in a Royal Rumble.
Well, it's because everything's in a state. All the big four are in stadiums now, so they kind of
like
the entrance is going to be long.
I bet you there's not much of a fucking entrance for SummerSlam because it is a big stadium show now. So they're going to have the 1.5 mile curved entranceway that only has the 2 screens that are on the side. And it's going to suck, dude. I'm going to be fucking miserable for every entrance because nothing feels special in these stupid entrances anymore. I'm done.
You're not wrong.
I'm done ranting.
You're not wrong.
I can rant for hours, goddammit.
Well, it's getting late. We don't have hours.
Yeah, we don't. But all right, guys. I'm good. You got anything you want to talk about before we bounce?
No, we'll be back on Wednesday with our Dynamite review. Hopefully they've got their heads out of their ass and they actually decide to put forth a pretty decent show.
Agreed.
That post that you would have thought. I will say one thing before we go.
I got one more.
You would have thought coming out of that pay-per-view where they were the talk of the weekend and stuff, they would have booked a better show than that dud that they had coming out of that.
True.
I just hope that I hope that they learn from that and try to capitalize. That's their worst thing. They don't capitalize on any of the momentum they actually get, and it frustrates the hell out of me.
So, side note, back to WWE for a second. Slammiversary was Sunday.
Yep, I did not hear great things.
And aside from AJ Francis trying to break his own leg, I don't know if you saw that spot. That was
trying. I believe he succeeded, didn't he?
I didn't hear if he had broke his leg or not, but I definitely know he did not. He tried to jump in between ladder rungs.
Oh no. Okay. I was watching Brian Alvarez earlier. He actually is fine.
Is he?
A lot of people took some weird bumps on that show that ended up being fine. Mustafa Ali landed on his damn dome, but he's fine.
Yeah, so Trick Williams defended and kept the TNA World Championship. And lame-ass JC Jane won.
Yes, it's JC Jane. Won the knockout title.
The TNA Knockouts title. Can we just go ahead and admit that WWE has bought TNA at this point?
Boo that girl.
I don't like they're letting WWE win all of their championships. Like just admit WWE owns you now. Like that's
WWE's keeping the lights on, man.
There's no way TKO doesn't have a stake in fucking TNA at this point cuz
They don't. They just have a working agreement.
This ain't no working agreement. This is
they're getting worked.
Yeah.
They're getting worked. It's an agreement that they're getting worked.
They're losing all of their top stars minus the 1 or 2 that actually went to AEW to WWE.
Oh yeah, that's just all those guys under contract right now. It's just a matter of time that if WWE wants them, they'll be WWE wrestlers. They're just waiting for their contracts to expire. So Joe Hendry and pretty much any other top guy they want from there.
TNA's just becoming NXT 2.0.
Kinda.
It's another developmental, and it's I don't know, dude. It's like do you not sit back and go, oh man, they let Mustafa Ali go, and now Mustafa Ali is like, oh, they got a working relationship with WWE. Let me go sign with TNA. Like, bro,
Yeah, Nick Nemeth as well.
I'd rather seen
Um,
you in GCW, my guy, because I don't.
so so here's the thing. Because there's no house shows or anything, and WWE is sending developmental talent there. That's getting their developmental talent extra reps on another program that does TV, so they're still wrestling to a TV crowd and things like that. So it is helping their developmental people. But if you're TNA wrestlers and you're top guys and you're losing to WWE developmental, you do got to be like, man, especially if you came from WWE, you're like, man, I left there to get away from some of this shit, and here it is just smacking me in the face again.
Right. And then you have things like I don't know if you heard about this, but as far as like office staff for WWE people go, they just got screwed over by TKO. So WWE standard procedure was for every year that you worked for the company, whenever you received your severance package for leaving, being fired, whatever, for every year that you worked, it was, I believe, a month of severance pay.
Yeah, that's usually how big companies like that work.
And TKO is now making them do what they did, and it's no longer a month of severance pay for every year that you worked. It's now 2 weeks of severance pay for every year that you've worked for WWE.
I mean, I'm not. Are you surprised? I mean, that's just corporate America.
That's also TKO because you said it's normal for it to be a month.
For big businesses, well, it used to be, but now a lot of businesses like that are doing similar things.
Right.
Look at the video game industry.
Oh yeah, they're just
They're when they're laying
hurting.
their people off, it's kind of it's kind of a similar thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so the morale in the office is down because here's the thing too. They're no longer just doing WWE stuff in those offices. They've actually taken on doing TKO
No, that
stuff as well. UFC.
it's one umbrella thing because
Yeah.
that's where they did all those cuts right after TKO took them over. They got rid of some of the redundancies across all the companies,
Yep.
combining responsibilities and stuff. So yeah,
It's I don't know, dude. Oh, I feel for the people that work for that company.
Eh,
But I
no,
also don't because I mean, I don't know, dude. It's gonna be. Here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest. I do not think that WWE is gonna be owned by TKO for another 20 years.
oh TKO will end up selling them
I
to the Saudis.
I do think they're gonna end up selling them, and I would not be surprised if it wasn't to the Saudis. And I am telling you right now, you want to see a locker room disappear?
Uh, I don't think people will disappear.
uh,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any. I don't know.
Listen, there's a part of me though. There's a part of me that wants some poetic, interesting things to happen, right? Listen, could you imagine AEW buys out WWE because TKO sells them, right? And then we get Shad Khan show up on Raw.
Oh God, it's 2000s Nitro all over again.
I own it.
Except it's Shad going to WWE
Yeah.
and surprising TK.
That would be hilarious. Now, I don't. I by the way, guys, I say this jokingly. I don't think there's a chance in hell that happens, but it would be hilarious. I would laugh hysterically.
It would be something else. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
But no,
WWE is not something that can be easily sold.
I do. I think TKO is going to sell it within the next 20 years because I think they're going to recoup on their losses and then make a profit on selling afterwards.
On the sell.
Um,
I mean, they're making money hand over fist right now. Like as far as like profitability in regards to TKO, UFC is not making money like it used to.
no,
WWE is like their big cash cow.
The problem is
So I don't
it's
know how quickly they'd be willing to. Now, once business starts to go down a bit, which it hasn't happened yet, all it's done is go up since they've bought them. So it'll probably take business starting to come down a little bit. And like you said, they're recouping expenses right now,
yep.
and they'll have all pretty much everything back by probably the end of next year. Honestly, they've been making so much freaking money. Um,
The problem that
Plus the Netflix deal.
the problem that they're running into, and this is there's going to be a breaking point. There will, because right now they just keep getting more and more expensive to go to.
That's the
And
same thing AEW was dealing with.
yeah, but
That's why they're running smaller buildings now.
right. But even still, you can say AEW is getting more expensive, and even if they are, they're still not anywhere near as expensive as WWE.
Well, they've come down a lot in cost as well, where you could
Um,
go to their shows for like $30.
right. I'm saying obviously people are still paying the prices to go, but there will be a breaking point at some point where people are like,
Yeah.
I can't spend $3,000 on a one night show.
Well, that's kind of the conversation we've been talking about because we know we're getting a SummerSlam and a WrestleMania here, and you were like, we spent a shitload of money on the tickets for Rumble, and they weren't like outstanding seats. They weren't terrible seats, but they weren't
They were
outstanding seats.
they were great entranceway seats, terrible for watching the actual show.
Well, it's a big stadium, so
It
I
is.
mean, if
Listen,
you're
I'm not complaining. I went to the Rumble. Like that's
right, but to your point, you're like these shows are 2 nights now, which means if you want to see the entire show, you've got to pay for 2 tickets per person, and that's thousands of dollars.
how much our tickets alone were I think six something.
We we spent for the three of us like almost $2,000. It was like 18 between 18 and $1,900.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was about 600 because I think I ended up paying you back. It was like 630, 640 or something like that. And
Yeah, I didn't charge you for everything
right, right.
because I felt bad considering where we what we ended up having to spend to get decent seats.
Right.
But yeah, we spent a lot of money.
But yeah, like because because we talked about it. I don't know if there's a good chance we don't go to SummerSlam. Or if, I don't. Kristen might force you to go, but
Yeah, she's gonna be like YOLO, bitch, pack up and get in the car.
um, but yeah, no, I don't. I'm not okay with dropping $3,000 for one ticket. I'm just not.
Yeah, it's rough.
And like I said, unfortunately for a lot of people, and I think you included, I've got to get. I've experienced a WrestleMania. I was a kid, but I've experienced one. It's not on my bucket list anymore. It,
The other thing is, I'm not a poor person, right? I have the money to spend if I want to do it.
oh yeah, that's
To me, it's just the return on the money spent isn't worth it.
no. And I'm going to tell you right now, if this was the year that SummerSlam was in Indianapolis and we had tickets to go to the SummerSlam, I would be pissed.
Yeah,
This show is
yeah.
not going to be worth whatever they're asking for.
And that's the other. You got to buy these seats months and months in advance when you don't know what the booking is going to be. Eh, yeah,
It's rough.
it is rough. Yeah, if I paid thousands of dollars to see fucking Jelly Roll wrestle fucking Logan Paul in a tag match, I would be really upset.
Yeah,
Nothing against Jelly Roll,
and
but I don't
listen,
want to see you wrestle, bro.
if I had to spend $2,000 or $3,000 to watch Gunther wrestle the second out of three falls with old people, I don't. I don't know how I'd feel. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see Punk wrestle live. That's not a knock so much. That is a knock on. It's a knock on Punk versus
I
Gunther.
have.
That's what I don't want to see.
I've seen
Um,
Punk wrestle numbers of times.
like I don't want people to think I'm a Punk hater. I actually like Punk. I
I am a
just,
Punk apologist. My
I just
wife will will say that.
don't care for this specific fucking match. Um, but to be fair, I
Yeah,
don't.
his booking has not been like super great
Yeah,
either. But I mean, he's also been hurt a few times too, which is stunted program. So you can't really blame WWE either.
yeah, I don't. I don't know. But anyways, so since we've done it, I'm done rambling again. Um, to everybody else, so I can actually talk about video games. Have a good evening, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Later.